Hello, my name is Kenneth Walter, and this is my PE lesson plan. The objectives and standards for this lesson plan, the teaching objectives for psychomotor would be the students will be able to pass a basketball using a chest pass and bounce pass. The cognitive students will know how to correctly throw a chest and bounce pass with correct form. Affective students will have to work together to reach the goal of completing the lesson correctly. The state standard that is involved is 1.16, pass a ball back and forth with a partner using a chest pass. In order to get students excited for this lesson, I will say a quote close to what is written. Today, guys, we are going to be playing basketball. I think this quote, and if I were to state this to a group of students, would get them excited, at least most of the students, because it's a sport. And they will also be able to play with their friends, do an activity involving groups, partners in this case, and it will involve, possibly working with their friend, if not working with someone that, they might want to get to know. The materials that will be used for this lesson will be one basketball per partnership, as well as one deck of cards for the group, and then either at in the school basketball gym or at the school blacktop courts. Any place that has a sideline and a full basketball court on campus. Like I had said previously for the materials, a basketball court, the location, like the school's gym or blacktop area, will be the most convenient area for the lesson. It does not need to necessarily be next to a basketball hoop, just the court anywhere on campus, or just a space of blacktop. If there's no court on campus, just a blacktop area or a gym that has enough space for students to dribble a basketball as well as move around a little bit. As for the warm-up for this lesson, students will begin with a jog around the basketball court twice, and then a series of stretches in order to get ready for the lesson. Just your normal, simple stretches in order to get the body loose and ready to go for the lesson ahead. How will students be assembled? Students will be paired off by who they sit next to at their numbers. So where they meet to get ready for PE, that's where they will be put into partners with whoever they are next to. Once the students know who their partners are, we will then walk in a single file line to the gym where we will then go over instructions. If not going to a gym, we'll walk over to the blacktop area, the sanctioned off area for where we will begin our lesson. Their partners might be someone they know. It might be someone they're not familiar with. So we'll accommodate those needs if they need to get to know someone real quick, introduce themselves, and then we'll get ready to get started. Introductions to the lesson. To introduce the lesson to the students, I will explain that they will be working on the basketball chest and bounce passes. I will then let the students divide themselves into pairs. Then I will explain to students that they will be using a deck of cards in a game that involves two types of basketball passes. In the deck of cards, a red card represents a chest pass, while a black card will then represent a bounce pass. The number on the card will represent how many passes they need to make. I will demonstrate to the students how to correctly throw both styles of passes. The students will find space in our designated area and will send one student from each partnership to come receive a deck of cards from me. Once the students return to their partners, they will perform the number and type of passes their card indicates until they finish with the deck of cards. So they'll pull one card out of the deck. That'll be the amount of passes they need to make and the type of pass, and they will continue with that until all cards are gone from their deck. The card color will indicate the type of pass, and the number indicates how many passes. In addition to all of those rules, any ace, so whether it's a red ace or a black ace, they will equal only one pass. Any other face card, king, queen, and jacks will equal 12 passes. A 10 will equal 10 only. The layout of this whole lesson, one student will line up on the sideline with their partner facing them about 15 to 20 feet apart. That gives them enough to make a bounce pass correctly, as well as the chest. Not too close, not too far. The distance and they want to be spaced out across the baseline, not next very close to each other. They want to have enough space to move around. The assessment. In order to complete the lesson, the students will draw a card from my personal deck that I'll have, and then they will be performing it in front of me. They will be watched to see how if they can do it correctly, their technique, and if they follow exactly the exact directions of the card. If they do not complete the assessment, they will then have to retry after their peers have all had one chance. Once completed, they will be dismissed to write in their journals their thoughts on the lesson and how it may have benefited themselves. And then they will need to have at least one positive and one negative they felt about the lesson. They will know the lesson is over when they have completed their journal as well as completed the lesson assessment. So they will need to meet up with me, let me dismiss them to write in their journal, and after they're done writing in their journal, they will be dismissed, and that's how they will know that the class is over and the lesson will be done. That is all. Thank you guys for listening.